Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. Today I am going to unbox something that came through to the PO box from Jacob, viewer and channel member. I believe it's a carving that he wants a bit of a critique on, so hopefully we can learn something from this and I can help him out, and hopefully you guys can get something out of it as well, because I'm sure as a more of a beginner carver, he will have a few issues and we should be able to spot them pretty well. I'm very interested to see what's here, so let's whip it open and have a look. We've got a letter. So apparently a couple of months ago, he got his first jar of rough opal, $75 at a local club show. I hope you get a chuckle from it. Well, we'll see what we get out of this. I might just skip ahead and cut this one free because I reckon he's done a pretty good job of wrapping this, so I'll be back in a second. Alright, I've rescued it from the plastic and I've switched over to the big lens because I am seeing some kind of custom cut foam to house this carving. So let's whip it open. It's a strange shape for an opal carving. Let's have a look. I am so confused. This may be the most out of left field opal related object I have ever seen in my life. This is not at all what I was expecting, and it is super cool. So let's just start top to bottom. Well, bottom to top actually, the way I'm holding it. Here it's got a nice little foam bottom and it's kind of like a trophy. It's got like this base, there's no plaque on it, but what it looks like is some chopped up PCBs. We've got some leads running from place to place, tracing around, same with at the top, a resistor for good measure, some copper coils. But as we creep up, we look like we've got some almost glass dopsticks leading to a black stone that I feel like I have seen before. I should know what it is, but I'm just not quite. I think my mind is a little bit scrambled from just this unboxing experience, so I can't quite recall what that is. But I do understand he did give me a hint and say that there's a bit of a Return of the Jedi kind of theme, and it looks like a bit of a Emperor Palpatine kind of Sith Lord carving with the two chunks of opal inside. If I zoom in a bit further, so if we have a bit of a closer look, here's the opal itself. This is what I was hoping to give some comments on, and I will recover for sure and be able to make some comments on it. But let's just take in the entire piece first. Up the top we've got what looks like the spaceship with the flame trail behind it. There's another stone in there that I know I've seen online a fair bit. I always think there's some really bright ones that must have been dyed. I'm not 100% sure what that is, but someone else will know for sure. If we move back down to the opal, so I'm seeing the head and face. I'm seeing a bit of a cape kind of thing going on, and then it must be hands, though this one looks a little bit more like a foot. That one definitely looks like a hand. And what I'm meant to be doing is commenting on an opal carving for Jacob. It's just that the opal's the thing that stands out the least at the moment. But if I do focus and tunnel vision in on this opal, I can see that with all of these intricate little lines and stuff, I don't know how he's done it. He's almost done the opposite of what I would expect someone starting out in opal carving to do. He's actually got a nicer finish in some of the more difficult areas than in the easiest areas. So you can see here just a couple pits in there. Apparently this was really sand shop material, and I can still see sand in the back because it's pretty crystal opal. And you can see from the front all the way through to the back. The face is super cool, but once you start getting these intricate little lines and everything with the eye, the nose, the mouth, the cheek, all of that, I do not think Jacob has the tools to be able to actually achieve a mirror polish on that. So the fact that he's gotten this far with just a couple of diamond bits, I know he purchased the beginner kit and he's also got the resin burrs, and I would be shocked if that is how he has gotten this finish, because even with these little intricate lines and stuff, I'm not actually sure how he's used the things I've given him to actually get to this point. It's far better than I would expect. I don't sell any of the really small burrs, though I have been thinking about it. Maybe he bought some online. But to get all of these fine, intricate details and to even start getting a semi-polish is incredible. And just because Jacob has gone through all of this effort and sent me this piece, I will reveal a upcoming item that will come up on the store because it will help in this exact case here. So if I put that down, such a cool stand. I might as well stand it up. Nah, then you can't see the opal. I'll put it down like this. So I will soon be releasing a series of diamond pastes. I've been very honest about how I cannot get the resin burrs made to a point where I'm satisfied. So these ones here, past this grit. This is 1500 grit. So I'm starting the diamond paste at 3000 and carrying myself all the way through to 100,000. And you can see I've purposely made sure that there's no annoying colored dye in the diamond paste, which is quite common. There's a lovely green. Sometimes I find that those dyes can latch onto some stones and kind of do some staining. It can also stain a lot of other things around your workspace, all that kind of stuff. I don't like those brightly colored oils. So instead I've gone very neutral. The thing that is changing the color from the 100,000 to the 3,000 is literally the diamonds. So the concentration increases as you get to a finer grit because you can suspend more in there without it all becoming like a dry, crumbly mess. So the bigger the diamond, the less gray kind of color you get. So it'll slowly transition across. As you can see, there's 3,000, 100,000. Between that, there's the 15,000 there, but before that, we've got the 7,000. So I've pretty much doubled 3,000, 7,000, 15,000, and then a 50,000 and 100,000. So no matter the material really, with these and some felt burrs, you should be able to get a finish. Of course, these can be used on flat laps. They can be used on all sorts of other options, buffing wheels, all that kind of stuff. It is just a standard diamond paste. Works perfectly fine on opal, but works really well on even harder materials as well. And Jacob has just inspired me to reveal those ones in this video. Of course, I'll do a couple videos where I work on those, work on a couple stones. I'm going to take them back to like a 1500 grit foggy finish and then progress through all of these and show you how much of a mirror finish you can get at the end. So once I do that, that'll be the more release video, and then you'll probably see them all listed online. You can thank Jacob for that, because here, to get the beautiful finish on this kind of carving, you are gonna need to go with toothpicks and diamond paste. It's the only way I've managed to get real good finishing into all these little grooves, like that face. You can see how the face doesn't have this reflective shine on it. Here he's got pretty good to a polish. There's just a couple pits left in there. Whereas the face, if I try to get the light to shine over that, you can see it's just not quite as shiny. And that's because I don't actually believe Jacob's got the tools that would allow him to get there. This isn't a skill issue at all. It's literally it is impossible with those massive burrs. Just think, if you're trying to get something like this into these little grooves, it's not going to work out. And this is quite a worn burr. It was much larger than this to begin with, so his is still new. There's no way he's getting in there. So I don't know if he did try to do some toothpick and serum oxide or something, but it's done something, because these fingers, way more finished than I would have expected with the tools that I know he has, just because he bought them from the store. Super cool. I was initially quite shocked because I was expecting a simple carving, just a single stone. As soon as I saw this custom cut out foam and the shape of it, I knew I was in for something unusual, but even after revealing it, there's no way I could have predicted this. It's got some little gems in there. I was hoping that was a little LED, because I'm not 100% convinced that I've missed like a 5-volt DC plug port somewhere, just because that resistor's throwing me off. Maybe I'll just hook up 5 volts to a couple of trace points and just see if anything lights up, because I feel like I'm missing something. It's way too detailed with all of these lines running around for it not to light up or something. Maybe these will actually light up like lightsabers. I mean, it's just a wild piece. Let's zoom out and you can take in the full glory of it. How unusual. If this is the type of work that he's going to do, I am 100% following what he's going to put out there, because we need more artistic stuff in the world of Opal. We don't want to just be cabbing everything. And if you're fighting some potch and colour kind of parcels and battling sand and cracks all the way, if you can turn that into something like this, I mean, this is a piece I never thought I would ever see. It is so unique. I'm going to have to find a way to display this. I might just chuck it up on a rotating table and just have the full glory of it just slowly spinning around. And the Opal itself is not too bad. He just said he couldn't bring himself to get rid of any piece that had a little bit of colour in it. And he is right. It's got a little bit of a flash of red over here, bit of the classic blue-green, little bit of colour in the face. And this is without a full polish too. So he has done quite a good job in this section here. I'm sure if he had some different tools and the diamond pastes, he would be able to get there. Anyway, I better put this aside and probably start working on the video so that I can release these diamond pastes, because there's heaps of applications where it would work really well, and this is a classic example of it. So let me get back to carving. Jacob, insane piece. Not just the Opal, everything else surrounding it is equally as impressive. You're definitely well on your way, and who knows, maybe I might be able to touch up this piece a little bit. I don't really want to modify it because it's not my original work, but maybe I will just reach out and see if you'd be open to me playing with this a little bit. Not changing anything, just maybe showing how you can get an even better polish in a lot of these finer grooves using diamond paste and toothpicks. So who knows, guys, you might see this one back on the channel if you haven't got enough of it already. Super cool. Everyone should try having a little bit more fun with Opal. So good luck, stay safe, and like I said, have a bit more fun with Opal, and you never know what you'll come up with. See you in the next video, guys.